How you doing, guys? Chris here. So, we've got some motors here, and I've been waiting a long time for these motors right here to finally arrive. They got caught up in that holiday shipping fiasco with USPS, and it took 54 days for me to get these Diatone 2204 motors, but they're finally here. So I had them in mind for my version 2 of my sub 250 gram 7-inch. Currently, they're running the 2004s by Brother Hobby, the LR edition, and they work, but they're not perfect. So I decided to go and try a little bit bigger motor. But when I was thinking about upgrading the motor size, I found a couple of different motor options. So this is obviously the Diatone 2204. This is the Hyperlite 2204. This is the Xilo 2205. And this is the Hyperlite 2205.5. So they all have different weights, but they all have different performance features. So I'm going to weigh them all out, see exactly if it's worth gram for gram putting the larger motor on as opposed to sticking with the original intended motor. It's to be determined, but right now we're going to get a weight on and then we're going to fly them all. Stay tuned. All right, we're all set up. Welcome back. So first we have the Diatone 2204. This is 1450, I believe. Yes, 1450 kV. Very low kV. We're going to weigh it with no motor screws but the prop nut. And we've got 20.9. Let's reset it. 20.9 again. And now adding 2 motor screws. We're looking at 21.8. Make sure that's what it wants. 21.9. Okay. So 21 grams, 21.9 grams per motor. That's not light, but it might be light enough. We will trim the fat on the 7-inch, so to speak. That buzzer might have to go. All right, this is the Hyperlite 2204 with 1722 kV with a prop nut. We're looking at 21.6 by itself without the motor screws. Reset it. 21.7. 2 motor screws. 22.6. So almost a gram heavier than the Diatone motor. Okay. All right. So maybe it's worth that extra gram. Probably not, considering it's the same stator size. So Diatone's definitely winning in the size option. Here we have the Xilo 2205. KV's a little higher though. This one's a 2250 kV. So have to run that on 4 or maybe even 3S. Okay. So we're looking at 27.1 without motor screws. And now 28.1. That is a significant jump from 1 millimeter in stator height. That's going to be hard to justify. Interesting. Let's put that over there. And let's look at the Hyperlite. This is a 2205.5. What's my kV? Oh boy. Do I have to look at the box? Let's look at the box. All right, the box says it is also a 1722 kV. Okay. So just the motor. 27.4. Oh wow. Let's weigh that again. 27.4 versus 27.1. 27. So for a little less than half a gram, you get half a miller stator size increase. Might be worth it just to go with this motor for the additional stator height. So we're looking at 28.2 with 2 motor screws. Yeah. Well, if I'm going to go for the strongest motor possible, it's definitely worth going from a 22.5 to a 2205 to a 2205.5. So there you go.
So I know this isn't a propeller comparison, but I had to at least try the 7038s from GemFan. So it was a windy day. I'm trying to skate along the side of this cliff just to shield myself from the wind, but you can still see a lot of wobbling going on here. These propellers are just no good for this sub 250 frame. I'm flying around a little bit. I found this hawk. It's pretty cool. Decided to follow him around. I asked him what he thought of my quad. He didn't think much of it. He left. So, c'est la vie. But yeah, I just had to try them. This is the only configuration I was going to have where I could keep my buzzer because of the extra weight of the 7042s. But c'est la vie. So here are the 7042s. Buzzer's off, and we're ready to fly.
I'm not going to lie to you. I waited a long time for this moment. I wanted these motors really bad. So I did that prop comparison, and I found that these GemFan 7042s were the best prop, and I really wanted these motors to perform well. And as you can see, they are rock steady. There's not a lot of wind. You can actually see some fog there on the horizon, so it's pretty good weather conditions. I simulated the same route that I did with the other propellers, just so you can get an idea of exactly how I was maneuvering and how stable these motors with these propellers really are. They are great. I pan around my neighborhood here for a quick second. I do love my neighborhood. It's definitely picturesque. I'm gonna miss it when it's time to go. But yeah, these motors, I think I got a winner in this combination. Continuing on, I'm going to dip down here and just do some quick little speed runs just so I can see how it turns and how agile these motors are. And I wasn't unimpressed. I, of course, don't have a lot of space to get a huge run in, but for the most part, they did the job. And I really can't wait for the next comparison. So this is my V2 frame, the version 2 that I'm going to test the other motors on just because of the weight. So stay tuned for part 2. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.